Speaker, the President of the United States. Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Tony. Jill. Good evening. Good evening. If I were smart, I'd go home now. Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President, members of Congress, my fellow Americans, in January 1941, Franklin Roosevelt came to this chamber to speak to the nation, and he said, "I address you at a moment unprecedented in the history of the Union. Hitler was on the march. War was raging in Europe. President Roosevelt's purpose was to wake up Congress and alert the American people that this was no ordinary time. Freedom and democracy were under assault in the world. Tonight, I come to this same chamber to address the nation. Now, it's we who face an unprecedented moment in the history of the Union. And yes, my purpose tonight is to wake up the Congress and alert the American people that this is no ordinary moment either. Not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home as they are today. What makes our moment rare is the freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas at the very same time. Overseas, Putin of Russia is on the march, invading Ukraine and sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not. But Ukraine can stop Putin. Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons that it needs to defend itself. That is all. That is all Ukraine is asking. They're not asking for American soldiers. In fact, there are no American soldiers in war in Ukraine, and I'm determined to keep it that way. But now, assistance to Ukraine is being blocked by those who want to walk away from our world leadership. It wasn't long ago when a Republican president named Ronald Reagan thundered, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, "Do whatever the hell you want." That's a quote. A former president actually said that, bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable. America is a founding member of NATO, the military alliance of democratic nations created after World War II to prevent war and keep the peace. And today, we've made NATO stronger than ever. We welcomed Finland to the alliance last year. And just this morning, Sweden officially joined, and their minister is here tonight. I'm going to stand up. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And they know how to fight. Mr. Prime Minister, welcome to NATO, the strongest military alliance the world has ever seen. I say this to Congress. We have to stand up to Putin. Send me a bipartisan national security bill. History is literally watching. History is watching. The United States walks away. We put Ukraine at risk. Europe is at risk. The free world is holding others to do what they wish to do us harm. My message to President Putin, who I've known for a long time, is simple. We will not walk away. Good evening. Good evening. Not bow down. If I were smart, I'd go home now. I will not bow down. Mr. Speaker, history is Vice President, members of Congress, watching. My fellow Americans, just like history watched 3 years ago, January 6th, 1941, when insurrection stormed this very Franklin Roosevelt came to this chamber to speak to the nation. And he said, here, I address you at a moment unprecedented in the history of the Union. Hitler was on the march. Were not patriots. War was raging in Europe. To stop the peaceful transfer of power. President Roosevelt's purpose was to wake up Congress and alert the American people. January 6th, this was no ordinary time. The 2020 election and the freedom and democracy election were under assault in the world. A great tonight, threat to U.S. I come to this same chamber to address the nation. But they failed. Now, it's we who face unprecedented America stood in the history of the Union. And yes, our purpose tonight is to wake up the Congress and alert the American people that this is no ordinary moment either. Strong, and not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home. The threats of democracy must be defended. What makes our moment rare is the freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas. I will not do that. At the very same time. This is the moment to speak the truth. Overseas, bury the lies. Putin of Russia is on the march. Here's the simple truth. Invading Ukraine. You can't love your country, sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not. But Ukraine, as I've done, Ukraine can stop Putin. I ask all of you without regard to party. Ukraine can stop Putin, defend democracy. If we stand with Ukraine, defending us all, and provide the weapons and domestic that needs to defend itself. Respect free and fair elections. Restore trust in our institutions. And make clear political violence has absolutely no place in America. That is all Ukraine is asking. They're not asking for American soldiers. In fact, there are no American soldiers in the war in Ukraine, and I'm determined to keep it that way. It's not, but now, it's not hyperbole. Assistance to Ukraine is being blocked by those who want to walk away from our world leadership. Read about this day and what we wasn't long ago. History is when a Republican president named Ronald Reagan thundered, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. 14 months ago. Now, 14 months ago, she and her husband welcomed a baby girl thanks to the miracle of IVF. She scheduled treatments to have that second child. Now my predecessor, the Alabama Supreme Court shut down IVF. A former Republican president tells Putin, quote, unleashed by do whatever the hell you want. Overturning Roe v. Wade. That's a quote. Told her dream would have to wait. A former president actually said that should never have happened. Bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous tonight. It's dangerous and it's unacceptable. Like hers, to my friends across the aisle, don't keep this waiting any longer. Guarantee the right to ABF. Guarantee it nationwide. America is a founding member of NATO, the military alliance of democratic nations, created after World War II to prevent war and keep the peace. Like most Americans, I believe we've made NATO stronger than ever. We welcomed Finland to the alliance last year. Being an incredible leader, defending reproductive freedom. And just this morning, and so much more, Sweden officially joined, and their minister is here tonight. We're going to stand up. Welcome. My predecessor came to welcome. He's leading his overturn, and he brags about it. Look at the chaos. And they know how to fight that has resulted. Join us
Mr.
tonight
Prime
is
Minister,
Kate Cox,
welcome to NATO, the strongest
wife and
military
mother from
alliance
Dallas.
the world has ever
She's
seen.
become pregnant again and had a fetus of a
I
fatal
say this to
condition.
Congress.
Her doctor told
We have to
Kate
stand up to Putin.
that her own life and her ability to have
Send me a bipartisan national security bill.
were at risk.
History is literally watching. History is
Because
watching.
Texas law,
The United States
her
walks
ability to
away.
act. Kate and her
We'll put
husband had to
Ukraine
leave the
at
state
risk.
to get what she needed.
Europe is at
But her
risk.
family got
The
through.
free
should have
world
never
at risk,
happened as
emboldening
well.
others to do what they
But
wish
it's happening
to
in
do
too
us
many
harm.
others. There are
My
state
message to
laws
President
banning the
Putin, I've
freedom
known
to
for a
choose,
long time, is simple.
criminalizing doctors.
We
forcing
will
survivors
not
of rape
walk
and
away.
incest to leave their states to get the treatment they need. Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass an act to ban
We will
reproductive
not bow
freedom.
down.
My God, what freedom else would you take away? Look, the
I
decision
will
to
not
overturn
bow
Roe v. Wade,
down.
the Supreme Court has already made the following. With all due respect,
In a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching.
electoral or political power.
Just like history watched 3 years ago on January 6th. When insurrectionists stormed this very Capitol and placed a dagger to the throat of American democracy. Many of you are here on that darkest of days. We all saw with our own eyes the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people. January 6th lies
Those bragging
about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election
about the power of women.
posed,
But they found out
gravest threat
when
to U.S.
reproductive freedom
democracy
was on the ballot, we
since
won
the
in
Civil War.
2022 and 2020.
But they
and
failed.
we'll win again in 2024.
America stood. America stood strong, and democracy prevailed.
You, the American people,
We must be
send me a
honest.
Congress that supports the right to
threat to
choose.
democracy
I promise
must be
you,
defended.
I'll restore Roe v.
My
Wade as the
predecessor
law
would
of the
send
land
you
again.
here.
Seek to bury the truth about January 6th. I will not do that. This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country
America
only
cannot
when
go
you
back.
win. I'm here tonight to show what I believe is the way forward. Because I know how far we've come. 4 years ago next week, before I came to office, the country was hit by the worst pandemic and the worst economic crisis in the century. Remember the fear?
As I've done
record losses?
ever since being elected to
Remember
office,
the spikes in crime and
I ask
murder
all of
rate,
you without
raging
regard to
virus
party
that
to
took
join
more than 1
together and
million
defend
American
democracy.
lives.
Remember your
Loved
oath of
ones,
office and
millions
defending
left
against all
behind.
threats, foreign
Mental health
and
crisis
domestic.
of isolation and loneliness.
Respect.
President, my
Respect
predecessor,
free and fair elections.
failed.
Restore
Most
trust
basic
in our
presidential
institutions.
duty that he
And
owes
make
to
clear
American
political
people, the
violence
duty
has
to care.
absolutely no place.
I think
no
that's
place in
unforgivable.
America. Zero place.
I came to office determined to get us through one of the toughest periods in the nation's history.
Again,
We have. It doesn't make news, but news in 1,000 cities and
not.
towns.
It's
American
not
people are writing
hyperbole
the greatest
to
comeback
suggest
story
history
never
is
told.
watching.
We're watching. Your children and grandchildren will read about this day and what we do. History is watching another.
So let's tell the story here.
Join us for later.
Tell it here and now.
Social worker in Birmingham, Alabama.
America's comeback is building the
14
future of
months
American
ago.
possibilities.
14 months ago,
Building
she
an
and her husband
economy
welcomed
from
a
the
baby
middle out and the
girl
bottom
thanks
up,
to the
not the
miracle of
top
IVF.
down. Investing in all
She scheduled
Americans,
treatments to have that
all
second
Americans,
child.
to make every
The
sure
Alabama
everyone has
Supreme
a
Court
fair
shut
shot.
down IVF treatments
Leave
across the state.
No one behind.
Unleashed by a Supreme Court
The
decision
pandemic no
overturning
longer
Roe v.
controls our
Wade.
lives.
She was told her
Vaccines
dream would have
saved
to
us
wait.
from COVID.
What her family had
Are
got
now
through should
being
never
used to
have
beat
happened
cancer.
unless
Turning
Congress
setback
acts. It could
into
happen again.
comeback.
So tonight,
That's what
let's
America
stand up
does.
for families like hers.
That's
To my
what
friends
America
across the
does.
aisle, don't keep this waiting any longer. Guarantee the right to AVF. Folks, guarantee it nationwide.
I'm hearing the economy's on the brink.
Now our economy is really the envy of the world.
15 million new jobs in just 3 years. A record. A record.
Like most Americans, I believe Roe v. Wade got it right.
At 50-year lows.
I thank Vice President Harris for being an incredible leader defending reproductive
Record
freedom.
16 million Americans are starting
And
small
so much
businesses.
more.
Each one is a little act of hope.
With historic job growth and small business growth for Black and Hispanic and Asian Americans.
My predecessor came to office determined to see Roe v. Wade overturned.
He's the reason it's overturned, and he brags about
We
it.
can't be the manufacturing
Look at the
capital of the
chaos
world. We are.
That
We
has
will.
resulted. Joining us tonight is Kate Cox.
More people have health insurance
the
today.
wife and mother from Dallas.
More people have health
She's
insurance
become
today
pregnant
than
again
before.
and had a fetus of a fatal condition.
The racial wealth
Her
gap
doctor
is
told
as small
Kate
as it's been in 20
that
years.
her own life and her
Wages
ability
keep
to have
going up,
children,
inflation keeps coming down.
children in the future.
Inflation has
were
dropped
at
from
risk
9%
if
to
she didn't
3%,
act.
the lowest in the world, and
Because
10
Texas
lower.
law banned her ability to act, Kate and her husband had to leave the state to get what she needed.
The landing
What the
is
family
and will
got
be
through
soft.
should have never happened as well. But it's
Now,
happening in
instead
too
of
many others.
importing foreign
Our
products
state
and
laws
exporting
banning the
American
freedom
jobs,
to choose.
we're
Criminalizing
exporting American
doctors,
products and creating
forcing survivors
American
of rape
jobs.
and incest to
Right
leave their
here in
states
America,
to get the treatment
where
they
they
need.
belong.
Many of you in this chamber and my predecessor are promising to pass a national ban on reproductive freedom.
And it
My
takes
God,
time,
what
but the
freedom
American
else
people
would
are
you take
beginning
away?
to feel it.
Look,
Consumer studies show consumer
the
confidence
decision
is
to
soaring.
overturn Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court
Buy
majority wrote
America
the following.
has been the law of the
With all due
land since the
respect,
1930s.
Women are not
Past
without
administrations,
electoral
including my
power.
predecessor,
Excuse
including
me,
some Democrats as
electoral
well
and
in the
political
past,
power.
failed to buy
You're about
America.
to realize just how much
Not
you
anymore.
know about that.
On my watch, federal projects that you fund, like helping build American roads, bridges, and highways, will be made with American products and built by American workers. Creating good-paying American jobs. Those bragging about overturning Roe v. Wade have no
to our
clue
chips and science
about the
Act.
power of women. The United
But they
States
found
is investing
out
more in research and
When
development than
reproductive
ever
freedom was on the
before.
ballot, we won in
During the
2022 and
pandemic, the shortage
2020,
of
and we win
semiconductors,
again in
chips,
2024.
drove up the price of everything from cell phones to automobiles. And by the way, we invented those chips right here in America. Well, instead of having them import them, instead of the private companies,
If you, the American people,
here in America,
send me a Congress that
tens of
supports the right to
thousands
choose,
of
I
jobs.
promise you,
many of those
I'll
jobs
restore
paying
Roe v. Wade as the law of
$100,000 a year
land
don't
again.
require a college degree. In fact, my policy is
America
attracted
cannot go back.
$650 billion.
I'm here tonight to show what I believe is the way forward.
Clean energy,
Because I
advanced
know how far we
manufacturing,
come.
creating tens of thousands
4 years
of jobs
ago next
here
week,
in America.
Before I came to office, the country was hit by the worst pandemic and the worst economic crisis in a century.
And thanks,
Remember the fear, record losses,
and thanks to our
remember the spikes
bipartisan
in crime and
infrastructure
the
law,
murder rate, raging
46,000
virus.
new projects have been
It
announced
took
all
more than
across
1 million
the
American
communities.
lives.
And by the way, I
Loved
noticed
ones,
some of you
millions
strongly
left
voted
behind.
against it or they're
The
cheering.
mental
on
health
that money
crisis of
coming out.
isolation and loneliness.
I like it.
The president, my
I'm with
predecessor,
you.
failed the most
I'm with
basic
you.
presidential duty that he owes to the American people, the duty to care.
And if any of you don't want
I
that
think
money
that's
in your district,
unforgivable.
just let me know.
I came to office determined to get us through one of the
Modernize
toughest
our roads and bridges,
periods
ports
in
and
the nation's
airports,
history.
public transit systems.
We have.
Removing
It doesn't make
poisonous
new, but
lead pipes so
news in
every
1,000
child
cities
can
and
drink
towns.
clean water.
The American
without risk
people
of
are writing
brain
the greatest
damage.
comeback story never told.
Providing affordable high-speed internet for every
So
American,
let's tell
no
the
matter
story
where you
here.
live. Urban, suburban, or rural
Tell it here and
communities,
now.
in red states and blue states.
America's comeback is building the
Record
future of
investments in
American
tribal
possibilities.
Building an
Because of my
economy from
investment
the
in the
middle out and the
family
bottom
farm.
up, not the top down. Investing in all America,
Because I'm
Make
making
every
sure
sure
everyone
everyone
has
has
a
a
fair
fair
shot.
shot.
Agriculture knows more
We
about
leave
this
no
than anybody
one-
I know.
no one behind.
We're better able
The pandemic
to stay
no
in the
longer
families
controls
and
our
the
lives.
spouses and their
The
children and
vaccine that
grandchildren
saved
won't
us from
leave.
COVID
Leave home to make
are
a
now
living.
being used to beat
It's
cancer.
transformative. Turning setback into
Great comeback stories
That's
all
what
over the
America
world.
does. That's what America does.
Nearly 60 years. Before I came to office, the plant was on its way to shutting down. Thousands of workers here for their livelihood.
I inherited a
Hope
economy
is
on the
fading.
brink. Now
When I
our
was elected
economy
to
is
office,
literally
we
the
raised
envy
the
of the
government
world.
repeatedly with all the
15 million
companies
new
knowing
jobs in
unions would
just
make all
3
the
years.
difference.
A record.
UAW
A
worked
record.
like hell to keep the plant open and get these jobs back. And
Unemployment.
together we succeeded. Instead of all the factories shutting
50-year
down,
low.
all the factories reopening, the new state-of-the-art battery factories being built.
Record
to power
16
those
million
cars
Americans are
there to
starting
save-
small businesses. And each one is a little act of hope. With historic job growth and small business growth for black and Hispanics and Asian Americans, 800,000 new manufacturing jobs in
Folks
America.
of Belvedere, I
and
say,
counting.
instead of your town being left behind, where is the
communities
rich?
moving
We can't
forward
be the
again.
manufacturing capital of the
Instead of
world. We
watching all
are.
the
We will.
jobs in the future go overseas, More people have health insurance today with higher wages. More people have health insurance today than ever before. Right here in America. The racial wealth gap is as small as it's been in 20 years. Wages keep going up. Inflation keeps coming down. Inflation has dropped from 9% to 3%, the lowest in the world, and 10 lower. President Sean Fain, the great friend and the great labor leader. Sean, where are you? Stand up. The landing is and will be soft. And now, instead of importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. A third generation workers, where they belong. Worked at Belvedere. Sean, I was proud to be the first president to stand on the picket line. And today, Dawn has a good job in her hometown, but the American people are beginning to feel it. Stability for a family. Consumer studies show consumer confidence is soaring. Showing once again, Buy America. Wall Street didn't build America. It's been the bad guys land since the 1930s. The middle class built the country. And unions built the middle class. Predecessor, including some Democrats as well in the past, failed to buy America. Not anymore. On my watch, federal projects that you fund, like helping build American roads, bridges, and highways, say to the American people, with American products, when America built by American workers, we get back up. We keep going. That's America. Good-paying American jobs. That's you, the American people. And thanks to our CHIPS and Science Act, because of you, America's coming back. The United States is investing more in research and development than ever before. That tonight, during the pandemic, the shortage of semiconductors, the state of our union is strong and getting stronger. From cell phones to automobiles. And by the way, we invented those chips right here in America. Well, instead of having to import them, instead of the private companies are now investing billions of dollars to build new chip factories here in America, creating tens of thousands of jobs. Many of those jobs paying $100,000 a year and don't require a college degree. Tonight, I want to talk about the future of possibilities that we can build together. A future where the days of trickle-down economics are over. And the wealthy of the biggest corporations attracted $650 billion. By the way, I understand private sector investment that is clean energy, advanced manufacturing, creating tens of thousands of jobs here in America. And I represented it for 36 years. I'm not anti-corporation. But I grew up in a home where trickle-down economics didn't put much on my dad's kitchen table. And thanks to our bipartisan infrastructure law, 46,000 new projects have been announced all across the way up in the wealthy still do very well. And by the way, I know there's some of you who strongly voted against it. And there's more to do to make sure you're feeling the benefits of all we're doing. Americans pay more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world. It's wrong, and I'm ending it. And if any of you don't want that money in your district, just let me know. Modernize our roads and bridges, ports and airports, public transit system. Removing poison with a law that I proposed and signed, and not one of you Republican buddies voted for it. We finally beat Big Pharma. Instead of paying $400 a month or thereabouts for insulin with diabetes, and it only costs $10 to make, they only get paid $35 a month now and still make a healthy profit. And I want to this lead pipe so every child can drink clean water without risk of brain damage. $35 a month for every American who needs it. Everyone. Providing affordable high-speed internet for every American, no matter where you live. People have talked about suburban, rural communities, in red states and blue states. Lower prices on prescription drugs. Record investments in tribal communities. Just like the VA is able to do for the family farms. That's not just saving seniors money. It's saving taxpayers money. Because I invested in family farms led by my Secretary of Agriculture, who knows more about this than anybody I know. We're better able to stay in the family for those farms and their children and grandchildren won't have to leave home to make a living. It's transformative.